Welcome back. It's all about you and me and Joy and our beautiful, handsome looking doctor in the house this morning. You see, when you see doctors, you always know them, they are doctors. So look at the fingers. Have you been able to look at the fingers? Sometimes I look at the fingers because that's what God used to actually perform His wonders through them. They will say we are only caring, but it's God that heals. But that their hands, their hands. Sometimes I hold it, I just want to, release. I want to release some strength of power. I wish I have, but I believe I do because I'm a child of God. So sometimes when I see them, doctors let me do that. That's what I'm trying to do. I just want to God bless this hands. So I always look at their hands. Doctor, how are you? Shake me.
Yeah, let me tap.
How are you?
Good morning to you.
It's so good to see you.
I see how soft it is. Now, I would, after the show, I would love you to write something for me because I want to confirm your handwriting. Yes, I want to confirm Doctor's handwriting.
We have Dr. Adeniyi, okay, and Adeyinka Joshua, AG, or you can turn it the other way around, J-A-A.
J-A-A, yeah.
Not jazz, J-A-G.
No,
J-A-A. So we have Dr. Adeyinka Joshua in the house. It's so good to see you. And thank God, God kept you. God kept you till this day.
Yeah, and thank God, thank God you kept your word and made it back to us. We appreciate joy.
Thank you. So this one we're looking at Hypnic Jack. It's an English drama now. Hypnic Jack. I have been turning it to different. I don't create dictionary for myself with that thing because many will sleep and tell you I fall from skyscraper. I remember my mother had that same dream when I was 10 years old. Hi, you show the enemies from left, right, and center was disturbing her. She go dey waka like this. She go say she wants me. You go just see her shake like this. So I'm saying, I just saw that. Holy Spirit, I bind the spirit. Any spirit that want to take me from down to up or from. Oh my! You see them speaking. Oh God Almighty! Actually, it's too. We don't see the secret. So there is a reason why you're falling, and that's what we'll be talking about. So I want to. I just fell asleep. But in the process of falling asleep, you are now falling from your sleep. So this morning, that's what Doctor is going to be enlightening us and talking to us about. We want to know more. What are the causes? Where does it come from? Is it from the enemy at hand, enemy in the house, enemy in the office, enemy around us, enemy that sleeps next to us, enemy that carry our food?
Oh my goodness!
It's because she carry my leftover. They said I should not be giving my leftover.
You see this topic, and thank God Dr. Ma once said something that everything that is not about spiritualism is not binding and casting. Because yes, if you want to do census, a lot of people have experiences. You don't see yourself falling from a very high scraper and you wake up and you're like, Holy Spirit, I cannot fall in Jesus' name.
Binding and casting and they will not be wasting the anointing. They'll be wasting it.
You're for something else.
What's happening?
So I'm excited we're having this conversation this morning.
So, Doctor,
exciting a lot of people.
I want to ask, what is Hypnic Jack? And how healthy is this sickness or ailment or disorder in our body? Because I don't know
whether it's sickness,
is
ailment, or is it disorder.
We will know. So please help us. So what is Hypnic Jack?
Thank you.
Man, I receive in Jesus' name.
Hypnic Jack is an experience that people have in brain wisely. So what happens is, from definition, it's an involuntary muscle twitch or muscle movement when you are trying to fall asleep.
Muscle twitch or muscle movement
when you are trying to fall asleep. So in the process of sleeping, we have stages of sleeping. We have non-REM and REM sleep. That is non-rapid eye movement and rapid eye movement sleep. So in the process of initiating our sleep, this is when these particular incidents do occur. So what happens is, in the process of falling asleep, the brain is trying to relax the muscles of the body. So in a bid to do that, the brain is trying to tell you that, okay, brain is trying to tell the body that please relax. You want to sleep. You ease the tension. So in the process of sleeping, you are now trying to the body is not trying to sense, the brain is not trying to send signals to the muscles to relax. Actually, Hypnic, there are a lot of research going on about it. It cannot really fathom the basic reason. But we have some school of thought which are going to explain. So, in continuation, the aspect of the brain that deals with being startled, so all of a sudden being startled, is the same part of the brain that is responsible for it. So, in the process of sleeping, you realize that the body is trying to relax your body. So if the brain is trying to relax your body and you are moving at that particular time, the brain will see it as an abnormal movement. I'm trying to calm you down, you need to sleep. So as a result of that, body will become all of a sudden rigid. So you are having a kind of imagination that you are falling from somewhere because your body all of a sudden became rigid from the process of initiating sleep. So the body will send a signal the moment you realize that you are moving, because the brain is trying to make you relax. So in the process of relaxing, you are now trying to make some movement in that process. So in the process of making the movement, the brain will be, come on, calm down. So all of a sudden you will jerk, and the jerk can make you, if you're sleeping, especially for people staying in boarding house, when you have
my God, you fall from the bunk.
So they fall from the bunk, or you just see yourself vibrate on the bed with wondering, maybe it's that person is having convulsion. So people think of a lot of things when this happens. So it's just
but while we are having that,
can we call it a syndrome, an ailment, a sickness, a disease, or a disorder? Where should we place it? And when you are looking, look into our approach eyes. You are looking in Joy's eyes alone. You have to balance it. When you have two whites,
balancing.
I want you to see the person who is talking to me. Thank you.
So, looking at the evaluation of scientists research, we realize that it's something normal. It's not that.
Okay.
And about 70 to 90% of people everywhere in the world experience. So it's not limited to something that happened here in our country or in this locality, or maybe you were trying to say some people think it's a spiritual attack, or maybe someone they offended or they had a previous conversation is now trying to attack them. So it is nothing like that. So 70 to 90 people experience this. So and there are some okay, let me tackle the first question. The first thing is that it is abnormal. It is something else that happens to everyone. Not everyone at this time happens. At least one time or the other.
So a large number,
in your life, at least once or twice. So another thing is that which I will discuss later about there are some factors that can increase or make it frequent.
Yeah, that's where I want to come in from now. Are there causes, and what are the symptoms that one can look out for to say, okay, this is the reason? Because we're saying something behind the camera, we are giving us reason why a lot of these things, for people that take caffeine, you can say, okay, this is the reason why. So now, when you look at it from that angle, are there causes? And if they are, what are the causes? And are there symptoms one can, maybe before going to bed, one can start having one or two symptoms that it seems if I sleep like this. Some people say I can sense a spiritual attack around me, I just, so that, do we have something like that?
Okay. The first thing is that it is involuntary. It's not something you can anticipate or plan for, and you don't prepare ahead for it.
Oh, wow.
You can never prepare ahead for it. It will always meet you
show up
unexpectedly.
It will just happen. So you are not preparing for this. Another thing is that this occurrence is something that can happen at any time when you are sleeping. I was trying to explain the process of sleep. The non-REM sleeping and the non-REM. Non-REM is in 4 stages. We have stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in stage, the last one after the non-REM, we have the REM. The REM is when you fall asleep, when there is rapid eye movements and you're sleeping, you're in deep sleep and you can't wake up. And the first stage, we call it hypnotherapy. We yes, sleep state. They are trying to fall. They are trying to shift from a wakeful state to a sleeping state. So the body is trying to transition. So in the process of transitioning, your body is trying to relax your muscles. Like, oh, you are sleeping, so relax. So in the process of that, if you are now making some movement, the body sees that I'm telling you to calm down, and you are not calming down. So another aspect I also want to talk about is the aspect of knowing if this is too abnormal. Now, when it is becoming too much, you need to see the doctor. When you are causing some might have convulsion during the sleep, or you need to see the doctor. But if it just happens once in a while and it's not abnormal, so you need to.
So don't bind and cast. Don't bind and. It's not the time for you to bind and cast. When it's happening consistently, currently, you need to see a doctor. Doctor is what you need. Don't go and disturb pastor. Leave pastor. Let them rest. Let them. They too, they need prayer. They need your help. Let them rest. Stop putting unnecessary burden on them. It's time for us to take a warm apple, and we'll be right back to continue this discussion. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. It's still Family and Values, and the program is continuing with this discussion as we go on to see why we fall in our sleep. Please see your doctor. If you continue to come and go, stop binding and casting. Use that binding and casting to pray and win more, get more success. Doctor, I want to find out. Does that mean that if I want to go to bed or I want to take a rest, what are the things I need to do to avoid? Because I love the process of where you're explaining that between the process of trying to sleep and still trying to, from wakefulness to your sleep. What do you mean by wakefulness to my sleep? Sometimes, is it possible that when I carry so much in my heart, or maybe you have been thinking and pondering on something for so long, and you just doze off, and you are still in your sleep. Sometimes you are in your sleep and you are still thinking of that thing. It is becoming a bother to you. How healthy is that? Can that also be a jerk?
So at this moment, I like some of it.
Thank you. I love that. Please help us.
To realize that we also cause this. Thank you. We mentioned nicotine the other time. Stimulants. Generally. Cocaine, caffeine, nicotine, things like that. So when you take them 5 hours, 6 hours before you sleep, and they are still active, and they stay in the body for a very long time. So they can affect the process of initiating sleep. So what I was talking about wakefulness is that you are awake now, but when you are asleep, you don't know what is happening. So you want to go to a state that you will not know what is going on in the system. So another point is that stress and anxiety is also a component or a factor this kind of also affects when you are stressed during the day. When you are anxious, you have anxiety, you have a lot on your mind, your head is full. So in the process of doing that, the body is trying to relax, your brain is trying to rest, but you are not calm enough to rest. So the brain is trying to do a lot of things
at the same time.
So you begin to have, and this sleeping jack can prevent some people from sleeping because the brain will be finding it
for that rest to occur.
You can sleep sometimes and you realize that you're already tired.
Yes.
On the bed,
but in your subconsciousness you want to sleep, but cannot be activated.
So stress and anxiety is
what can we do? When you get to that stage, and you are just turning for 1 hour, say, "Mommy, I just wake me up in 1 hour's time or 1.5 hours time," and you are just turning on the bed. Normally some people take 10 minutes and okay, but that give me 1 hour. Let me just rest. Now you will not sleep. What do we do when it gets to that stage? I've been here wondering, can you imagine? What happened? What can we do?
So, in a stage like that, if we can identify this person, those things that are stressing you, those things that are making you anxious, those things you need to just, you need the ability to take them off your mind. There's no logic behind it. If it is becoming too much, you need to see.
Now that's where I'm coming.
Yeah, of course, you can take. We have medications that helps you.
But that should come from doctor.
Yes, you need to go to the doctor. Anxiety helps you to relax yourself. We have classes of therapy.
But now let's look at what surrounds Mojang, because sometimes now does it occur in children also? And if it occurs in children, how do you make children understand? Because it's scary. Now let's assume a child that was in boarding school and keeps falling and gets back home and says, "Mommy, anytime I sleep, I'll see myself falling from my bed." The first thing the parents are thinking are their spiritual attack within the school. Do you understand? So how can it be prevented, even on kids or children or teenagers generally? And at what age is it really dominant that you say, okay, at this particular age there is tendency? Because some children are very hyperactive. Even in their sleep, they are seeing you say, calm down.
You know, when you are stressed really big, you are over engaged, you did a lot of things, the body is now trying to rest, the energy is still there. Like I said the other time, you cannot predict.
Yeah.
But there are certain factors that can contribute to it. I'm not mentioned, I do not highlight all the factors.
You can go ahead and do that.
So, we also have exercise.
Okay.
When you do exercise shortly before you go to bed, it's affect.
Oh.
So some people love doing their daily activities in the evening.
Yeah.
When it is not, some people will tell you fast, I need to sleep. I need to do some exercise twice because I could not do exercise in the morning. But things like that, your body is trying to understand that. So exercise is good for the body, it makes you relax, but not when you are about
to sleep.
Exercise is good to also make you have good sleep, but it is not when you are
about to sleep.
Yeah, so that's
one.
When you are stressed too, it can also be about depression. For some that the way that I need some of the time to sleep.
Of course.
Depression. So I mentioned use of stimulants, I mentioned stress and anxiety, I mentioned hyperactivity. That when you are stressed, you have done a lot of things, it will also affect you when you are trying to sleep. So you cannot, going back to your question, you cannot really predict this. And there are some factors that also contribute to it. Like you mentioned, when they are hyperactive brain with children, so when they are sleeping, they begin to do a lot of things. So it's a broad, Jack is a broad aspect. We also have some that will have sleepwalking, but it's not part of it. We also have those that have restless leg, that their leg will be moving.
It is common in children though. Now let's back into that area, and you will see them flinging the leg. I witnessed that in my son. My son will sleep and he's hitting you, and I'm like,
involuntary what?
They are involuntary movements. They are not doing that deliberately. So when they wake up, when you ask them what happened, they will not know
anything because they are not there.
They are not there. You see some people
will. Maybe they went for meeting and they are now
doing their leg. Their legs are like this.
that's what many. It's
that's the African mentality. He has gone to meet his people.
Maybe he played cool.
It's not anything. It's just the brain, the body, the neurologic system trying to release some signals involuntary. All the involuntary because it cannot control. So when it causes that feedback, the body does. A lot of activity happens when we are just asleep. So we have like I mentioned, restless leg. Some we have continuous movement. So they have different types. You see some people they stand and they are sleeping on the bed. Before you do it, you are into another person's room, sleeping again. Walk. you end up meeting the yourself where they never met.
Interesting.
Some of these things, it depends on the activities you are doing. That is why some people, some children, when they are very active, you see them making what they have done, even in their dream. You see them, that was some of those things, those were the things he was doing while he was away. And to others too, because also, he doesn't spare the children, even the smaller ones. It happens once in a while. Then, before I forget this, for children, when you see them doing this thing, you need to be able to distinguish between Jack and conversion.
Okay.
So you need to also see your doctor for you to confirm that you are not in trouble. You need to consult your doctor. You need to go to the hospital for evaluation. If you see that this patient, this particular person is jacking, or is just losing consciousness for a long period of time after jacking, or you see that this jacking is not
normal.
Hypnic jack comes briefly and it's gone. But when it is taking too much time and you are jacking,
that is
One
the
need to
wrong
be
signal.
one should watch out.
Flag that
For
you
red
need to
flag.
watch out.
So it's something that happens to us.
I want to ask, sometimes it could be scary and worrisome when you see all these signs and you are like, what is the next thing I can do? Now, let's look at when someone go through this rude wake-ups. Rude wake-ups. What can we do? Because sometimes you just wake up like that and your sleep will just disappear. What do we do when we have rude wake-ups?
Before I talk about that, another aspect that is sleep memories. Consistent sleep deprivation. is also one of the causes that sleep deprivation and use of gadgets. When you want to sleep, ensure that you sleep in the dark. Keep your phone somewhere else. But when you sleep, pushing your scrolling Instagram and watching reels on YouTube, TikTok, and everything.
Let me tell them.
Brain is engaged.
And some will just keep the phone close to their ear.
So in the process of that, initiating sleep, because you are exposing yourself to some rays of light, your eyes, the blue rays, which is not healthy. So because you will not sleep, there are some that will sleep by 12, 11, still scrolling. By the time they want to sleep, you have a tendency of having this consistently. So depriving yourself of sleep for a very long time. Short hours of sleep, you sleep in the night, only 3 hours every day, every 3 hours. So the process of initiating sleep, you can experience this. You are you are stressed during the day, you are going up and down, you never have time to rest, get back home, you are only sleeping 2 to 3 hours. So sleep deprivation is a factor. So when you sleep well, ensure that you sleep at a regular time of the day. Maybe you only sleep 9 and wake up 5. If you can make it regular, you can also help to get better. If it's coming to consistent. So you have a good way of managing your stress and anxiety. The caffeine and stimulants of all sorts should be discouraged. And if you need to take coffee or some level of coffee, you should be doing the morning time, during by the time you are
going to work and all your activities, you've exhausted everything.
Yeah. Okay. Now when you're about to set for you need to go and sleep, you will not take a cup of coffee. You are sending your brain will be awake, your brain will not be sleeping, so it will be sending signal. So you might not be able to have a very good sleep. So and like I said, the stages of sleep, the 5 stages, sleep 1 to 3, 4 and REM. It's a cycle that you go through every time you are sleeping. So when you leave sleep 1 to 3, you go back. That is why sometimes someone just call you and you will answer. Maybe you're in stage 1 when the person calls you. But when you're in stage 4, when they call you, you want to tap you. And some there's no time. You are not able to get past the stage 2, 3, stage 1 and 2. Because the more you progress in the stage, from stage 1 to stage 2, your body activity is producing a slow breathing. You don't breathe fast when you are sleeping. Breathe gradually, things like that. So every other body activities begin to count like transitioning into REM
No, it looks scary.
Let me sleep. Oh,
No, it
no.
looks scary. I don't even talk about sleeping. It looks scary. It looks scary to me. Like when you say you move to the next realm, from that realm, people
It's
find
really,
it.
really,
It's really scary. But God is
it
wonderful.
really scary.
I'm
Like,
telling you, God is
now,
wonderful.
finally, let me ask this. Because sometimes you just do some findings and you just want to like get a professional's reaction or report or result, something that a professional will just tell you and tell you, no, this is how it's supposed to be, and you're one. So someone told me sometimes I'll just take coffee at night like that, and before I know it, I'll go to bed. I say, yeah, I dare not. I did okay, you cannot. I dare not. The moment I take coffee at night, now I go open my eyes. So whatever makes me. This morning I had already had coffee because I need to be here, and I know I have so many things. And for people who are menopause, going through menopause crisis, sometimes you just want to stay active because early in the morning like this, just feel like sleepy. So I want to ask, people who take coffee and still go to bed at night, not in the afternoon, just like you said, how dangerous can this be? What if, I know you said it to me, how dangerous? There should be more than disturbing the brain. It must have some work, damaging effect on the brain. How dangerous can it be?
I also want to add that coffee is good. It also has inside. So it's a stimulant and it can be addicted. You will make it as a source of energy. And when it wins up, it will make you more tired than the way you have left yourself. You were initially. So that is what coffee is. You need it, just take it. It has its own importance and it can also drain you, it will drain your energy because it's trying to give you the whole strength. By the time the body is now exhaust the whole energy. So you need that stimulant to keep going. So that is why it is like this. Now there are some categories of people. Different people react differently.
Yeah.
That's I wonder.
There are some people where as soon as you take a caffeine, you cannot close your eyes. Why some people it is like sleeping?
Yes, I know someone that is
She
sleeping.
says she will sleep one night unless I'm going for vigil. If I'm going for vigil, I've gone to work and I have rest a little while and I'm going. I know I will need it because I'm going to be,
Active. You're going to be
I need to be
awake.
active.
Yeah,
it will be difficult for me to run through that. That's the time I'm supposed to be sleeping. But I want to deprive myself that little period. So I will need something that will keep me awake to be active. So but this kind of people, God is wonderful.
You need to know that you don't have to be dependent. You also need to know that it's also affected. There are times, some will fall asleep because they are brain not. It can also be a victim of hypnic jack too. Because the stimulant is to stimulate certain components of the brain cells because it's a stimulant. So when it stimulates the brain cells, you are awake and you might not be able to have a very good scan. It's not everybody that uses his or her eyes to
That's sleeping.
Sleeps well. Yeah, they can sleep, you fall asleep. Sometimes you don't have very good sleep. So then their own metabolism may be able to clear it fast. And for you, you have understand yourself that when you take this, you will not close your eyes.
At all. If I should close my eyes, it means I have overworked myself. And it's not, that means I have to have more to be more, more stronger coffee, So
some people say, you're drinking coffee. Yeah, in the next 2 minutes, the concentration of the coffee will make them.
Yes, I love coffee, and I always had coffee right from secondary school. In fact, for me, if I take beverages, I sleep off. So once I take it, whether time, morning, night, that's very sleeping. So I don't take it at all. But you see, coffee,
doctor. Finally, let's take your final word of advice to people eating jack.
and
what should we do?
clearing the myth that surrounds it, because a lot of people have a lot of
let's have your
concessions around this thing. Is demonic,
Because of our
is this, is that. So let's have your final
All right,
word
so,
on it.
so my dear gentlemen, Hypnic Jack is not a myth, or let me say it is not a spiritual attack. That's what I want to do. It is not some village people running after you, shaking your legs or drawing you to a meeting. And when you see some of your family members doing some of these things, it is not because they are in a meeting somewhere. Hypnic Jack is an involuntary movement that is caused by the brain. You are trying to relax, and the process of relaxing yourself, because of some factors like I have mentioned earlier, stress, maybe you took caffeine, you did rigorous exercise, you did sleep deprived for a period of time, you can fall into this. And it is not something you can predict. It is not something you can plan to achieve. It can just occur on its own. So I just want you to know it is not a syndrome, and it is not something bad. It is just something we feel. So, but when it is too much or it becomes persistent, you need to see your doctor for advice. So, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Demi.
Thank
Joshua,
you.
thank you for having
Thank
you
you.
here
Thank
once
you.
again. We appreciate God's grace over
Thank
your life,
you.
and we pray
Thank
God
you.
will continue to be there.